Hi, my love. Welcome to your love reading. I have quite a few decks on the table here. I feel like I need to do part like of an angel reading and then part of just like my usual tarot and oracle reading. For some reason, the angels are feeling really strong for you. So I thought, okay, let me pull my angel cards and I'll do an angel reading first and then we'll get into like everything else. So let me put these decks aside for a moment. So for the angel reading, I want to pull just on the energy of the question. Without giving too much detail, it looks like you are in a relationship right now. But you're not really feeling it right now with this person. You're feeling like it's weighing you down. And you are currently or recently talking with your ex. Your ex has moved in with their girlfriend. And you are pretty much asking, why do you feel such a connection to the ex? And how do you know if your current relationship is the one for you? So I want to pull on the energy of this. The energy of your love life for one thing, but like the energy of all of that. And I don't know, I just was feeling really, really called to pull angel cards for you. And then we'll just kind of go from there. So I'm not seeing any cards popping out. Okay. You know what? Let me pull the cards first and then we'll just dive into it. I think that'll be easier. Some of the cards are still stuck together. Okay. Let's just, I don't know, I was just feeling called to lay them out like this. Okay. So from the romance angels, what I'm seeing coming up for you is we have true love, attraction, and codependency in reversed. Okay. Now, what I'm seeing this is like my intuition is telling me, that the relationship that you had with your ex-boyfriend was very much one of those true love romance relationships. It's probably looking back at maybe your history of love, your history of your relationships and dating experiences. This particular person and the bond that you had with that person, the relationship in general, regardless of the reason why you guys broke up and all of that, you know, was probably one of the most closest to true love that you feel or have felt. The reason why I say it in quotations is because true love can be, you can have that with not anybody, but there's a lot of different dynamics, a lot of different ways to have true love. So it's not just only one way with one person. But with the ex-boyfriend, there was definitely a different connection that you shared with them than the current relationship you're in. And probably when you compare that to other relationships or dating dynamics that you were in the past. The attraction is at the core. So what it is there's a lot of like sexual, physical attraction that you have with the ex-boyfriend. And I feel like that's kind of one of the reasons why there's still some connection between you and that person, because you're physically attracted to them. And when you see them, we often most people, I say we because a lot of us are the same way. You know, when you look at an ex, there's always that attraction to that person. There's always something, whether it's an energetic attraction or it's the physical, that doesn't ever really go away regardless of what happened, the circumstances. For the most part, not everybody will resonate with that. So I'm kind of feeling like those two cards coming up for you are indicating that there's still physical attraction, and there's the true love feeling that there's just some kind of a bond, that there's some kind of a relationship bond and what that you had with this person that just kind of doesn't compare to other relationships or other dating experiences that you have had since this person, or even probably before them. The codependency card is coming up in reversed, which is kind of telling me that the relationship you're in right now may be a little bit more clingy, and like maybe you're feeling like this guy is really attaching himself to you in a way where it makes you feel like you are physically, financially maybe responsible for him. And that's a turnoff for you. And so I'm feeling like the ex that you had, that he was more independent than the current boyfriend, that he wasn't as clingy as the current boyfriend. I also just heard Spirit say, be careful what you wish for. It's funny that popped up in my mind because my daily message today on my Instagram post was actually about that, where we think that we need something, or we think that we want a certain trait in a person. And when you finally get what you think you want, you realize it's not what you wanted after all. And so I feel like in your case, maybe your ex was very independent, and maybe you just didn't like that about them at the time because you felt like they weren't giving you enough of them, or they weren't giving you enough attention. And the current boyfriend that you have may be giving you all of that attention and love and physical, and they're very affectionate, and you're kind of finding yourself being like, whoa, I need to step back just a little bit. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with the romance cards. So the other tarot cards, I'm going to kind of read them with how I laid them out. So we have the Sun, and you are a powerful light worker in the core, in the middle of this. So I love that. Light workers are people who, we work with energy, we work with the spirit, we work with the spiritual, we work with, there's like a kind of like a mystical vibration to us. The message here says, it is safe for you to be powerful. Your spiritual power brings great blessings in loving service of the divine. And so maybe not so much a light worker message for you with the reading, but I feel like it still resonates, where it's saying that you are a very powerful individual, okay? And you're very powerful as an individual, not in a relationship dynamic. So I feel like it's kind of saying like you need a relationship dynamic that you can feel powerful in, that you can feel independent in. And I really, really sense that, because it's kind of coming up below the codependency. I really sense that that's one thing that you just don't like about this current relationship, is that maybe you don't feel super independent, because the significant other, the boyfriend, is actually making you feel like they are depending on you for happiness, or they're depending on you for financial support or emotional support, and it's becoming a bit much for you. It's like they're soaking up that energy from you and you're like constantly running on empty with them. The Sun card came up. This says illumination, growth, and God energy. Again, very powerful energy with you with the Sun. The Sun is like vibrant, it radiates. The Sun takes up space. The Sun needs its own space. And so I feel like that's what you need. It's a factor that you need in this relationship, and maybe you're not getting that enough of it. Autumn, abundance, preparation, and harvest. So there could be something harvesting coming up, something that you're going to be, when we think of harvest, it's like we're gathering, we're collecting. I also see autumn as the season of release. It's the season of death. It's the season of just, everything is kind of going into hibernation mode. So our autumn could actually be coming up as a sign, foretelling that maybe maybe there will be some big changes taking place in your relationship dynamic in the autumn time. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. If you're taking notes, write that down. The travel card is coming up, journey, path, and location. So definitely with the autumn season and travel coming up, like I said, there could be a shift. There could be that travel could be a literal travel that you'll be going on in the autumn season, or this could be actually moving, or like not moving, physically moving, but like there's an action that you're going to be taking. In other words, this could be the time where maybe you're going to give this relationship some more, the current one that you're in, some more breathing room and some more like a chance, and giving them a chance. But maybe by the autumn season, if things don't change and if your heart still feels the same way, you may actually find yourself, you know, taken off, right? So let that be a potential. I'm not saying it's set in stone. The other oracle cards we have: Goddess. Express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. You are like a goddess energy. Like I said, very independent. You cannot be held down. That's the kind of person that you are. And so if this relationship dynamic that you're in is, if it is very codependent, you need something that is more breathable for you. Listen to your intuitive feelings is also popping up. Your body is receiving accurate messages from the divine. Your intuition is already what is the reason why you came to me and got the reading. Your intuition is telling you, I don't feel right about this relationship. Your intuition is the reason why you're guessing or second guessing the relationship that you are in, okay? And that says a lot. So really, it's what the card is saying is trust your intuition and trust your feelings, because we are all very intuitive, you know? Some people just don't listen to it, and some people do. And the people that do, you'll start to see synchronicities happen, and like, there's a reason why you are feeling the way you feel about your relationship, okay? But I don't think that it's time to just throw it out just yet. I think that there's still some stuff that needs to, you know, maybe some conversations to have. There's, you know, there's a little bit more of insight that needs to take place before you jump ship, okay? So now I want to pull on the relationship. So we have Father of Wands, we have the Star, we have the Hermit, we have the Seven of Wands, and we have the Nine of Cups. So that's with the current boyfriend. So now let's pull on the ex. Five of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Okay, so I kind of see when I have these cards together, I kind of see where, like, what makes the current relationship less desirable than the past. So the first thing that I'm seeing is we have a Father of Wands or a King of Wands in the relationship that you are in right now, right? We have a Queen of Wands. We have a Queen of Wands in the relationship that you used to be in with your ex. The King and the Queen are a pair, right? But what I'm seeing this as is sorry, I'm like tongue twisted right now. Is Spirit was telling me that in the current relationship, you are taking on the role of a King of Wands. And it's actually one of those things where please forgive me for designating like feminine and masculine roles and whatnot in the relationship, because sometimes it's like it's okay to be both, right? But I feel like in this case, you having to be more of the masculine role in the relationship is a turnoff for you. Like that's instinctively, that's how I feel. Whereas in your past relationship with your ex, you were actually more of the feminine role, okay, as a Queen of Wands versus a King of Wands. And it was more like he would step up more. He would stand up for you more. He would verbalize more. He would be more of the upper hand. Not saying that women are not upper hands in relationships, but I'm just saying based on like trying to like, I'm trying not to be offensive, but at the same time, I'm trying to explain what I'm feeling, is that you felt more supported in your past relationship versus the present one. It's like you are the one that's being the supporter. You are the one that's being, you know, the leader and the wearing the pants in the relationship. Okay. That's kind of how I'm sensing that. And I feel like for you, you know, it's nice to feel powerful in that leadership role, but after a while, sometimes we want to feel taken care of. We want to feel nurtured and secure, right? And I feel like there's not that isn't here. I also feel like there's a lot of solo time, or there's a lot of loneliness, that Hermit card coming up with your current relationship. I don't know if there's a lot of times where like there's not a lot of conversation, or maybe the Hermit card is revealing the desire for loneliness or alone time. Whereas if your significant other, your boyfriend right now, is always around and like you needing your space, so maybe that Hermit card is revealing that you desire that. The other thing I'm kind of seeing is hot and cold. We have fire and water, okay? We have wands and cups. Wands is fire, cups is water. And regardless of what the meanings of the tarot cards are, I just see, like for me, I see this as a very hot, cold relationship. It's very moody, okay? The star card coming up too this is a relationship dynamic of healing. There's a lot of healing taking place in this relationship, in this bond that you two have, whether you were both fresh out of relationships when you found each other, or maybe he's still going through a breakup and he's still trying to find his way around it, or vice versa with you. You're still trying to get over this relationship dynamic. And so there's a lot of healing happening that brought you two together, which is fine. But at the same time, if there's open wounds, the desire to kind of like break free from this circle, this, you know, protective circle of the relationship, and going elsewhere for help is a little bit problematic. So I'm not saying it was bad for you to communicate with the ex, but I would probably bet that he would not be comfortable with you doing so. So those are things that I'm just kind of seeing as like, also I'm kind of seeing this protective nature with the snake, with this current relationship. He may be very like possessive, or he has a tendency to be very possessive. And that could be kind of scary for you at times too. So that's that. With the dynamic of the ex, I see we have a Page of Pentacles. We have 2 5 cards, which are, 5s are very problematic cards. They're very like argumentative with the 5 of Swords. They're very like 5 of Pentacles was like, there was a lot of, you know, issues in this relationship, that like financial issues, or there was like a lot of like just different changes in dynamic. I don't know if you guys dated young and then you, as you got older, you just kind of you morphed into different people. That's kind of how I'm sensing that, because we have a Page and a Queen. So it was like, you know, Pages are young people, students, high school lovers, or something like that. But then the Queen is like, Queens are more of like you're grown up and you're more developed and you're more aware of yourself, right? And usually when it's like, some people, I know people who are high school sweethearts that are just like the perfect couple, but not everybody. So if you guys did date young and then like you grew up, right? Usually your personalities change with that, you know, your everything changes as you grow up and you have like a different mindset. And so I feel like that's also what kind of played a part with that number 5. Like the 5s are just so problematic. There's like petty arguing and just like little nitpicking things. But what holds it together is the 2 of Cups. So this was definitely like that attraction, right? 2 of Cups is communication. 2 of Cups is being able to connect. And so I feel like that's also what, regardless of like the petty stuff, there was also that major attraction with each other. And there was that need for, you know, like you guys could communicate about anything and everything under the sun. So I see that with the Two of Cups coming up for you too, where it was like, regardless of like the petty stuff, you guys were still a pretty darn good match. But sometimes the petty stuff outweighs everything else. At least that's how I see it. So really interesting to see that. Let's pull cards for... So I think I kind of answered the question of... Ooh, I just put my cards upside down. I think I just answered the question of why do you feel that connection to the ex? Because the relationship, the dynamic of that relationship was different from what you have. And there was more of a bond. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, I want to pull for how do you know if this person is the one that you're currently with. Because I feel like that's really tearing you apart. Intuitively, I will say, I feel like this relationship dynamic is not the one. That's just my feeling. But let's go ahead and pull on this. So we have the Ace of Wands. My cards are all coming up upside down, which to me is also another sign. But I don't usually read reversal. So there's that Nine of Cups again. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Magician. We have the Seven of Swords. So there's like, like I said, there's a lot of that fire, water energy. And then now we have like kind of all of it because we have the swords and whatnot. But what I'm seeing is that it's the relationship that you're in right now, sexual attraction is there. Like there's definitely the physical. But I feel like the emotional, to me, this is just making me feel like there's endless cycles. Like it's like one moment you're okay, the next you're like shitty. Then you're okay, and then you're shitty again. And I feel like it's just a cycle, and that in itself gets to be very exhausting for you. The Seven of Swords worries me. This is usually, to me, the Seven of Swords is lies, it's deceits, it's secrets. And so I feel like that's the thing. Like if you are already reaching out of bounds, you know, out of the boundary of this relationship and talking to the ex, that already is a red flag. At least in my opinion, you know. I just see the lies as like being able to trust each other. I feel like there's trust there, but then I also feel like there isn't. And I don't want to say it's because somebody, you know, did something to cause that to not be, for you guys to not trust each other. But I feel like even if none of you did anything to cause a reason to not trust, I feel like there's just that underlying feeling like he has issues with trust. I feel a lot on him. But by you going out and talking to the ex, it doesn't help the situation either. You know what I mean? I also just saw 2222, 2222. So twos is the number of couples. It's the number of together twos, right? And I feel like this relationship, even probably from the very beginning, I'm just sensing that it was never just the two of you. I feel like there's always been like, you will always reach out to a friend to talk to a friend or vent to a friend about the relationship. I feel like, you know, it's never been a duo dynamic. I feel like it's always been like you and the friends, or him and the friends and the family, and everybody else is involved, which could be a little bit tiresome. The Ace of Wands and the Magician kind of just makes me feel like there was definitely an initial flame, that initial spark that ignited like this amazing relationship to start off, and it had a really good run at the beginning, but that light was easily fizzled out. And I do feel it's just a very moody, just a real moody relationship. The spider web with the spider is really making me, that intuition is making me think that he maybe makes you feel like you're caught in his web. Like I feel like it's like sometimes he might do things, blackmail, or what other vibration am I feeling? I just kind of feel like he can be a little sneaky with that Seven of Swords and that spider. It just makes me feel like he has a different side to him that not everybody's aware of, you know. And I also feel like you need to hear like you're not crazy for feeling the way you feel. Because I feel like there's people around you that just would tell you like, why would you give this up? Like, I feel like they see the relationship as a positive, but I feel you, girl. Like, I don't think it's 100%. That's just my intuition on that. So how do you know, literally to answer that question, how do you know if this is, I did it again and put them upside down. How do you know if this is a meant to be? You won't question it. That's how you know, my love. You know, that's an easy answer that I could give you without pulling cards. You to know if you are meant to be, to know that if this is the one, you won't question it. And because you are questioning it, and because your intuition is like screaming at you that there's just something wrong, that tells me that it could develop into being the one, but I feel like right now, no. I definitely feel like right now, no. I want to pull a card from the, what deck is this? The Enchanted Map Oracle, because I feel like the messages that come from this deck are so helpful. And so I really want to read one for you, just to give you a message for the reading as a whole. Something to leave you with, okay? So let me... All right. Well, you know what? Let's keep that one. Let's pull another one. All right. I can see why this one wanted to come out. Storm fields with a big old tornado. This is number 9. And I do use the guidebook for this deck because the messages from the guidebook are so good. That's the only reason why. Okay. Storm fields. An uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. Things that you left unattended may be the cause of some conflict. Pent-up energy needs release, just as a storm in nature must break. For these events to occur, when the electricity between opposing forces stirs things up and creates temporary disorder. Not all storms are destructive. Rather, they serve nature by bringing rain to the ground and wind to the trees, enabling seeds to be widely distributed and continuous growth to be ensured. Just remember that whatever is being stirred up inside of you or between you and another will benefit you later. The sun will shine again and new growth will be observed. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. Wow. See? You see what I mean? So this relationship that you're in right now, these problems, these feelings that you have, they're blessings in disguise. And that's how you have to see it. And they're, you know, regardless of what happens, whether you stay with this person and you give them time, like I said, I feel like something's going to happen by autumn, or you decide, you know what, I'm done. Whatever you decide, there's no right or wrong way to do this unless unless your well-being and your safety is like, you know what I mean? Like if you're in danger, then that's different. But, you know, if that's not a case, then to me, it's like, maybe give it a little bit more time and truly see how you feel. But I feel like it's also a 9, and 9s to me, that's September, and fall season starts, in September. So I'm telling you, like, give it some time, but I really feel like the storm that's raging within you, there's a reason for it. Okay. The other card that pulled is in reverse, so it's upside down. It's number 41. It is unexpected visitors. Oh my God. And it's in reversed. So unexpected visitors, so number 41. And that could be your ex. I'm just saying. So the reversed. Unpleasant news. Unpleasant news is only unpleasant when you resist accepting what it is. Sometimes the thing most desired is kept away from you because it is not for the highest good of you or others. Sometimes there is loss or disappointment due to a destiny whose pattern cannot be understood yet. Change is something that may be forced upon you, like bad weather that threatens a boat. Adapt to the shift in conditions and think about how beautiful the sky will be afterwards. Accept what is, and a more fulfilling path will soon be revealed. Remember that if you expect the unexpected, nothing can come as a shock. So something definitely out of this storm, there's definitely going to be something taking place. Definitely something going to be taking place at the end of the year. I feel by September, I feel like for you, it's kind of like you can't have expectations, okay? This unexpected visitor could be a person, or it could be a visitor of like an actual person coming through. Like I said, your ex, or the reason of you communicating with your ex is bringing up the reasons why you feel this way, and it's starting that storm. Everything happens for a reason. But I feel like regardless of it, you have to roll with the punches is what I'm hearing. You got to roll with the punches, and eventually things are going to be crystal clear. And like I said, I really feel like there's blessings in disguise here. You're going to find freedom. I feel like you're going to find answers. But these connections that you have, the connection that you have right now with your boyfriend, it's not wasted. It's not wasted energy. There's always a reason why this guy came into your life. Okay. So don't discredit that. Whew, what a reading, my love. I really feel this one hard. I feel it hard for you because I think it's just, there's a lot of open-ended questions that you have. I feel like there's a lot that you're dealing with, but it's one of those, it's literally one of those cases where you got to trust your intuition. As cliche as that sounds, trusting your intuition, trusting your heart, okay? What you feel is best for you. But I definitely feel like if you want to write that in your notes for the reading, I definitely feel by September, autumn season, something's going to happen. Something will have happened or is going to happen, okay? So stay positive, my love. Hang in there, one day at a time. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or, feedback that you would like to give me regarding the reading, I would welcome it. Please email me. But other than that, I wish you all of the best. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, my love.